use that document produced by the president of Kuda. Where the secretary of Kuda Bamenda in the South. Can you read this letter to the hearing of the woman?
This one's kind of. Come here. Yeah, I can manage this one. Developing story. Position of Nkuda in Ngwo traditional setup. The declarations of the PG of Nkuda confirms our all-time worry of no established institutional working relationship between Nkuda, the fund of Ngwo, and the fund of Ngwo. The declaration of the PG of Nkuda confirms our all-time worry of no established institutional working relationship between Nkuda and the fund of Ngwo. The fund of Ngwo receives complaints from his people concerning the EXCO or development associations of his fandom that is overdue constitutionally renewal. He calls on the President General in writing and gives him ample time to conduct credible elections and put in place legitimate EXCO. Here below is the letter of the fund. Fund's Palace, Sapling Ngwo, Jikwa Subdivision, established the 2nd November 2021. Reference number CRP/001/NFP/2021. His Royal Highness Ngwo to the President General Nkuda, subject, urgent election and the legitimate National Executive Committee of Nkuda. Mr. President General, I refer to resolution number 8 of the EEC meeting held in Bamenda on the 4th of October 2014. This resolution reads, the EEC scheduled the 2014 annual meeting, that is AGM, to hold in Ngwo on Monday, 29th December 2014 at 10 a.m. prompt. The main agenda of the 2014 AGM shall be the election of the National Executive Committee of Nkuda. The planned elections referred to above were not realized due to arguments that erupted and the elections pushed forward. And since then, the National Executive Bureau hasn't been constitutionally renewed. Understandably, the ongoing socio-political crisis in the Northwest and the Southwest regions has contributed in one way or the other to this delay. Information reaching me indicates that the participation and the belonging of Ngwo people vis-a-vis Nkuda is seriously hampered by the absence of a legitimate National Executive Bureau. In the light of the foregoing, and to improve and maintain the enthusiasm of Ngwo people vis-a-vis Nkuda activities and Ngwo development, I request you to organize credible elections of the National Executive Bureau of Nkuda latest 31st December 2022 in Bamenda, or by use of any inclusive digital means. You are further requested to program and the handing over to the newly elected National Executive Bureau by 31st January 2023 to be presided over by the fund of Ngwo. Keep me informed of the progress of this agenda. Signed, His Royal Highness Dr. Col Anagho Ngwo. Copied, all Nkuda branches.
All right. Go to the next page. A reply from the president of Nkuda to that letter that he has read. Read that reply.
That's what African of Nkuda PG, bearer of funds message to Nkuda. After preparing his letter, the fund informs the President General by telephone of correspondence to him. WhatsApp reaction of Nkuda PG to bearer of the fund's message to ngwo. To Nkuda. President General Nkuda writes to Richard Anagho, bearer of letter written by the fund. The fund called and asked if I have seen a letter from him that he sent it through you. Richard, yes, I will scan and send today. President General Nkuda, thanks. After receiving the letter above, the President General sent the following messages to the bearer of the fund's letter. Message number 1 from President General Nkuda. Good evening, Richard. I make reference to the letter you sent to me from the fund yesterday. I don't know who is misleading the fund to make false and inaccurate public statements on an institution like Nkuda. I am shocked to read from him that the present executive has been illegitimate since 2014. The failed elections in 2014 were reprogrammed for 28 December 2015. The 2014 elections failed because the royal prince had arranged to push Professor Anyi to take over from me at any cost at elections. They insisted all the Putin people who had been brought to the AGM by Professor Anyi should all take part in the election when Nkuda elections are by delegates. That is how the 2014 elections failed. The elections were then rescheduled for 28 December 2015 by Matthew Aworu, leader, and Mr. Joseph Atokona were appointed the election officers. They worked hard and put in place the modalities. At the December 28, 2015 election, I refused to stand for re-election, and my wife had actually come to that AGM to ensure that I don't accept any nomination for re-election because of what her own brothers and had done with the 2014 election. After a lot unsuccessful attempts to pressure me to accept nomination, all the quarterheads staged a walkout and come back with what they said was their decision. They tabled a motion for the mandate of the entire expo to be extended for another 4 years. All the delegates voted for the motion proposed by the quarterheads to give the expo another mandate of 4 years. This is contained in the AGM resolution number 14 of 28 December 2015. Also see circular number 01/2016/Nkuda/PG of 20th January 2016. Paragraph 3. I submit to you, the bearer of the letter from the fund, to draw his attention to the misleading information to the ngwo community that the mandate of the present expo was reconstitutionally renewed after the 2014 failed elections. Thank you. Reply to President General by Richard. Will I give the details of this message to the phone? Thanks. Message number 2 from President General. Richard, who is the author of the letter the phone sent to me? Richard. No response because question is irrelevant.
Sorry, President.
Come on, Message number 3 from
please.
American division.
Don't go ahead.
Message number 3 from President General Nkuda. Good morning and happy Sunday, Richard. It's okay if you choose not to tell me who wrote the letter for the phone to sign and send to me. It will be interesting for you to know what the phone called and told me. When he listened to following audio which I sent to him. Those who think they can be derailing the phone at his age shall have their reward. As the phone repeatedly told me, he is being derailed and that the truth will always prevail. Richard, no response. Message number 4 from the President General Nkuda. Let those who are derailing the phone and using him in their attempt to destroy Nkuda be educated that Nkuda is an association registered with the Ministry of Territorial Administration and having legal personality. Nkuda is not registered at the Ngwo Palace, and it is not an auxiliary organ of the Ngwo chiefdom. Nkuda has a constitution, and the supreme authority of Nkuda is the AGM and not the PON, who is a patron of the association. The authority of the AGM is exercised through the constitution of Nkuda. The Nkuda President General derives his authority from the constitution put in place by the AGM. The primary responsibility of the President General is to ensure the respect of the constitution of Nkuda. The fund has no power to suspend any article of the constitution or other Nkuda President or other Nkuda's President General to take an action contrary to the constitution. Only the Nkuda AGM has such powers and authority. People should be educated to understand the Nkuda constitution. I have tolerated enough of these distractions. Questions and lessons. 1. The President General infers the fund can never write to him or give him directives. The fund does not know how to read. That it signs papers without reading. Two, the President General does not want to write to the fund. He just receives a letter from the fund which he can send him a written response, but prefers beating about the bush with the bearer of the message of the fund sent to him. Question and lesson number 3. President General declares Nkuda, though operating in ngwo, has no connection with the fund, and the President General of Nkuda is not answerable to the fund of ngwo. What a hideous declaration in the history of Nkuda. Number 4, etc. What would be the way forward?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ambu. There is a representative from the Southwest here. I want him to tell you his own story of the famous vision. Let him tell you people his own story of the famous vision. Please, Mr. Ase, what transpired in the course of the elections that were conducted in the Southwest? Can you tell the Ngwo people?
I'm speaking my friend. And the question would be now, they are conduct election where the President General put a organized, and then started Mr. Beji was there's Secretary Amanai. Then the person coordinator, Mama the outgoing coordinator, and now we chat. So, in those financial secretary, the financial secretary the opponent 20 years. So, Nigeria got to be check up what the meeting. Bring on check up on manage. Now we are managing the financial secretary, managing back. Uncle, and let's make the 600,000. Plan in the air. The economy and what was strong and 250 or and okay. And when again, you go back election, new election. Now, someone going new election. I have power war at the end of I'm organized election. Long election, but it's delegate. Your delegates from Muyuka, Ekona, Munye, Umaka, Boliko, Boye, 16, Chico, and Limbe. So organize election. We organize election in what? It's time. We are time about the election. What do you government spending?
We do that time about the election at the coordinator. Issue aside. Then we will just the post of the Secretary General. No, I got to work. I'm going to win election and I'm starting. I'm going to advise. If I'm going to hand the election, I'm buying it. I'm going to active for the chair. I'm going to take it up and down a few months. So I'm buying that period. I don't want to say. So I'm going to election as a vice coordinator, which will be tough. There is no secretary. Mr. In the treasurer, like this, up and back. Good name of Ladana, was still maintained. This administration when they know in strong way, that were all stopped by the vice president of the general, Mr. Yenchi, Mr. Secretary General. The coordinator himself, the outgoing coordinator, and other. There's the next 2 days, was an acquisition repetition. Serving Mr. So, mind the election because I think the private ball, the private ball, so on. That's when the one friend the private ball. So, that was one friend. Mr. Kuku. But Mr. Kuku,
when the election coordinating when there was a point and the problem when the president we have to work do that. We have to work on that. We have to take over our company. We have to about the first trust. Bamenda. And you know, they said that the bank, the money we cash, we get that pay. So it's even more America. After 1 week again, was after 3 days, was a wonderful. I said, I want to advise you as a personal friend and so on, that you should step down from that office of the government. Maybe why should I step down? No, he just advised me to step down. That should write the solution. I said, but what about the issue? That the kind of the magical by I wrote a resignation. I said to you, after 4 years, the soccer was in Libya. It's not coming that no. I would have written the resignation. I wrote back that cancer the resignation. I wrote back the cancer. After 1 month, the appointed for the appointed to someone named coordinator. And that appointed Mr. Ng Emmanuel. Now vice now secretary general. No, I used to work in some class up to today. Our progress of up to today since
So how is Nkuda functioning in the Southwest as of now?
As at now, the only wrong year at the NG, the code and the color of food. And for a check that, the other name no coordination bureau. I could himself as a member, going to give a member, you're in the antra phone, down the one, but the little picture of all the chips, so that is sort of where instruction of all there. Above is above Patama, above Pata. That's another John was or no. I was I'm going in Trump and they are not members of it. And I just to talk to the issue.
All right. No one just try. Man, I can a brief summary in a Boguno, the Zambu's or the Wunongano that I paid. Ngwo. Bongo President position President Kuda concerning relationship with Kuda man from there. President actually President Kuda in relation to and appoint an overall majority of the Southwest, which is now Southwest as a Bongo. Southwest, a good number of Kuda members. Now, Southwest never function when they put that in the Mangoma and to connect some of the Kijab was no, as usual. And for the time, some was already we got to quarter and a man bendo. That we move I want a man bendo 1 Monday from 2015. Mandel Kudana 4 years in year for 2015 to 2022. 4 years before 4 years before. Known from where later Bongo my remind of the one in that election. And then because of Apobo in Panungo wrong because Mandel here the parent of Bongo I for normally the election. And so Mungo got to become the election bill. And then answerable to territorial administration. And then I take Gandon, the one I want to Gandon the Congo for MFNG territorial administration. And for the committee to taking up the territorial administration. And because of that, unfortunately, new decision concerning the present ESCO of Nkuda, I would like what we call a royal act. Read this act by the form. Because we're not arguing. We can't have very long.
Victor Takima Blange, Ngwo Palace, Sabi Ngwo, Njikwa subdivision. His Royal Highness His Royal Highness in Congo, Public Communique, Royal Act reference number 001/NFP of 2022, bearing on the suspension of the executive of Nkuda General. Mindful of the expiration of the extended mandate of the executive of Nkuda to readjust the ISO Palace project, mindful of the huge division among Ngwo people and the skepticism of Ngwo development caused by the disgraceful palace project execution and the mismanagement of funds contributed by Ngwo people to erect structures in the palace, mindful of the recent outing of the President General insinuating that EO executive bureau is not answerable to the front of Ngwo Palace and the Ngwo people, but to the Ministry of Territorial Administration, mindful of acts of usurpation of royal powers by the executive of Nkuda, addressing quarter heads directly and not presenting AGM resolutions to the fund prior to publication, mindful of the protracted established disrespect to the palace and the fund by the President General and his executives, mindful of the fact that the content of the files used by the executive of Nkuda to legalize Nkuda's constitution were not presented for verification, and these are the visa of the fund, mindful of the fact the fund and his people have lost confidence in the President General and his executives. The fund of Ngwo, His Royal Highness Dr. Col Anagho III hereby decides as follows. Article 1. As from date of signature of this decision, the Constitution of Nkuda has been suspended. The President General and the Executive have been suspended. Article 2. That all the bank accounts of Nkuda shall be temporarily frozen following this decision of the fund. That an electoral committee shall be immediately appointed by the fund to draw up modalities and conduct elections before May 22nd. That all Nkuda branches and the meeting houses shall continue to deliberate normally. Article 3. That any Ngwo person or group of persons that shall take upon themselves to contravene this royal act shall not go scot-free. And I promise them the venom and the wrath of the Ngwo ancestry. I beg that all national and international organizations or institutions that shall continue dealing with the suspended Nkuda executive shall be doing so at their own risk. This decision shall be communicated and published widely wherever necessary. Signed, His Royal Highness Dr. Col Anagho III, Fund of Ngwo. 19th January 2022. copies, the Governor, Northwest Region, the SDO Momo, the Divisional Officer in Jikwa, Nkuda patrons, Nkuda coordinators, Nkuda branch presidents, Nkuda USA, and the archives.
At if you are in the elbow, I will fall down on my gun. Azuna of what to me, and I beg you, give me beer. I'm a Gombe. Malazoga, fire ball for the and what he knew decision. About the man wants to go to Machua. Jumu. To make it up with anybody, Jim and the Captain Grip, a man. Well, what about that? Can't do no. One book, Mazon, Mangoka. You get one book, Gabba would get it. One Gama or nothing. So to someone you are some of what man wants to react. What when you can be able to react, Sambo react, and I can hear. Am I correct? Well, that the Pokemon and boys of Bomo. Woman, I got football community. Come on, register, one meeting, I think we meeting is no. So, Malam will go his anno. Well, you want for him from Guamo, or what is among other men, about the copies of a branch Bogan, the Bamutsuma truck, Ghana, Bon Bogano. Gan, Bon, it's a more give for and Timmy pudding. Tomorrow, Bonabon war, and that's a get him a limp for my work on Bombo.